Welcome friends. Today you are coming along with me in a fall decorate with me video. Now I love to decorate for the holidays, but I know how overwhelming it can be. So what I tend to do is just decorate a little bit here and there. I pull out my totes and I set them in my office. And so what you're going to be seeing today is fall decorating over the course of about 2 to 3 weeks. Whenever I have a few minutes, I'll pull out some decorations, I'll clean a space and put up some fall decor. I love to start in the kitchen, and so that is where we're starting today. I have 2 shelves on either side of my refrigerator, and I love to use this space to display mostly my thrifted finds. This is my favorite spot to change out seasonally. And most of what you're seeing me use for decor, I've either thrifted or found at garage sales, estate sales, that kind of thing. These floral plaques are beautiful. I love little figurines and old-fashioned kitchen utensils. I'm going to swap out my rolling pin collection, a red one that's a little more fall, for my green one that I had up for spring. We're going to put up some fall stems and embrace that beautiful peachy muted orange color that I found in a lot of the inspiration pictures on Pinterest that I really loved. I sometimes wonder if I go a little too far with florals. You can let me know what you think about that. But flowers make me happy, greens make me happy. This painting I thrifted. Actually, it was a consignment shop locally. It's hand painted, acrylic, I believe. It doesn't have a frame, and so I may make one or find one later, but I love the cozy, warm feel of these shelves. Let me know in the comments what you think about open shelving. I know it can sometimes be kind of a fleeting fad. It was in for a while. I just love it. I love it. It's a great opportunity for me to display my finds. Here you can see a plate that I had found and shown you in a previous thrift with me video, and I decided I liked the grape cluster plate a little bit better, but I'll show you where I put that Betsy Ross plate in a later clip. You might recognize this bread box as well. That's from that same thrift with me video. And I decided to go ahead and embrace the red. I might strip the red paint off later down to the bare wood, but for fall, I decided to go ahead and leave the red. As you can see from my shelving decor, I am no minimalist. I completely embrace collections. I embrace vintage antiques, items and pieces that have a story, that make you feel something, that maybe remind you of someone or something, or just make you feel happy. Maybe it's something that you find beautiful or just tied to a memory. These kinds of things are precious to me, and while I love my home to be tidy and clean, you will definitely not find me embracing the minimal all-white naked countertop trends. Let's move on into my kitchen pantry and you will see exactly what I mean. I love vintage dishes. I love cookware of all kinds, glass jars, containers, baskets, pottery. I cook a lot. I preserve a lot of things. My style is eclectic. It's collected. It's curated over time. And I really hope that it makes people feel cozy and maybe even sparks conversation when you come and visit my home. This little space that you see me decorate here is just outside my office door and just right next to our dining room. And I really enjoy decorating this alcove space that leads into my office. This is where I decided to hang my Betsy Ross plate that I got our thrift shopping with you all. I have an antique stained glass, a window hanging above it, and I think when it's backlit, it's just beautiful. I really appreciate the artistry of stained glass. You can see our dining room through this set of French doors that I actually refinished on here with you guys a long time ago. I'll go ahead and link that video for you, but I refinished these doors to make them look antique, and I also installed these backplates and doorknobs, the backplates off Etsy and the doorknobs off Amazon to make them look vintage. And here's a little peek of our fall dining room. And if you didn't catch my fall dining room decorate with me video, you can also find that in the video description. Just click the more button below this video. This buffet I may move into the dining room at some point, but right now it's just off our living room, and it's another one of my favorite places to display seasonal decor. Right now we keep books inside of it as well as toddler toys. It was a gift from my husband for our anniversary. I do love it. I just think I might move it into the dining room and give us a bit more space in our living room, but it's really pretty. Okay, let's move on to our living room fireplace. This fireplace my husband and I built together. We are not experienced professional masons at all. Both he and I have a few DIY skills. He is familiar with concrete, but we did do the rock work on this fireplace ourselves, and I think we did a very good job. I love how it turned out. I still plan to seal it this fall just to give the rocks a little bit of a shine and more protection, but it's a really fun place to decorate, and I really look forward to decorating the mantle for Christmas time especially. I get lots of questions about our TV. It is recessed into wall space above the fireplace, and I like to turn on just YouTube. I think it's called Creative Art Gallery, and they always have really pretty seasonal video pictures to play. I think they play for about 4 hours, and so I like to turn those on. It looks like a frame TV, but it is not. It's just a regular flat screen television. That reminds me, make sure that you guys click the subscribe button and turn on bell notifications, because I have a DIY project coming up where I'm going to be turning the plain white frame that's around the TV space into an antique TV frame. Think antique, vintage, appliques, gold, antique bronze, super cool. So make sure that you subscribe so that you do not miss that video coming soon. One styling technique that you will find repeated in my home are vignettes, meaning they're just small little clusters of decor that kind of coordinates and really tells a story. A 3-time great grandmother used to weave rugs, and this was a rug that she did. It's over 100 years old. I have a small picture of her. Just some pretty things that coordinate and go together. Kind of tell a story. It's interesting. Vignettes are a really good talking point. You saw me decorating with the tobacco tins and the pipes. I don't smoke, but these items were my husband's grandfather's, and so I just kind of cluster that group of items on a side table, maybe where someone may have used them in the past, and they kind of make sense and go together. It's almost like a museum display method. It just kind of tells a story and reminds us of him. On a thrifting trip last Christmas, I actually found this cigar tin that has the company name of More on it, and that actually happens to be our last name. So that's another item that adds to the aesthetic and also the grouping. Okay, my friends, this is going to be the last space we're going to tackle together. This is actually our back mudroom, which happens to be the entryway that we come in and out of most often. and it's a narrow hallway. It splits 2 directions. I like to keep this decorated very simple, so just small little nods to the seasonal changes, a place where we can drop keys or mail if we need to. That's why I like to keep the plate here. Is a painting of my husband's farmhouse where he grew up in North Carolina. I have a vintage phone here, which may be a location that it would have been used way back when. I have just some practical space for hanging jackets and hats, and down the long hallway of the mudroom that leads to our storage room. I really love this little hallway. I love this red and blue rug. It's not a vintage rug, it's actually a new rug, but looks kind of vintage. This color on the walls, Heg Blue by Farrow and Ball. Absolutely adore this color. Now here's a quick hack for you. If you're needing art like I am today, I have this little vintage frame and I just want to put a quick fall inspired photo in it. I always go to Etsy, and for really cheap you can get beautiful downloads of whatever you like. I then just size them to whatever size I want. The biggest I can print here at home is standard paper size 8.5 by 11. So I'm just going to go ahead and print that, pop it into whatever frame you have, and it's just a really quick, easy way to have some beautiful art on your walls. Well, thank you, my friends, for hanging out with me while we do some fall decorating, a little cleaning, and I really appreciate you being here. Make sure to check the video description, hit the more button to find any links I may have mentioned. Have a blessed week, and we'll see you next Wednesday.